I have been in the business of teaching people how to overcome their fear and hesitation and build confidence to take action towards their deepest desires for a long time. It's just taken different forms because I believe in people and I believe in possibility. And now I would love for us to also set an intention today that we are going to bring in some of this good positive energy for ourselves, but not only for ourselves. Because when we set our intentions to quiet our minds, to allow this creative experience to happen, the energy of that actually has a ripple effect. And you'll be able to feel it not only in yourself, but maybe your fur babies that are around you or the people that you encounter. It's in and of itself, I believe, when you make the commitment to be positive, you make the commitment to come from your heart, it actually is an energy that it is felt beyond you. So I really personally thank you for showing up today. And I thank you for taking this leap of faith and this little astral vacation. So we can take a little window into what our soul desires. And I will tell you, having led so many of these, it's always, oh, sorry, my little puppy, I just scared my puppy. It's always fun for me because I don't know what's going to come up for me. And so I'm like both excited to lead it and experience it. So does anyone have any questions before we get started? No, no. All right, fantastic. So Marcy, I am going to put on a little music. It's okay if it's quiet, but I just, Marcy is going to begin us with just a little centering, a little quieting of our minds. And then Marcy, when you conclude, I'll just pick up and I'll take over from there.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm glad we're doing this first, because how do we really move into intentional wishing without being mindfully present, right?
Indeed.
Right. So we're just going to do a little bit of mindful presence first, and then Alexa, it'll be obvious when I'll hand it over to you.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm going to invite everyone to mute themselves, please. I hope my dog doesn't bark in the background after all that, but
That's all right.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to invite you to gently close your eyes. Place your right palm on your left palm and place it gently on your lap, softly touching your thumbs to each other. And just notice for a moment where your breath lands in your body. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel its contact with the ground. And feel your sitting bones on the chair or the couch wherever you're sitting. Gently place the roof of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. This unlocks your jaw. And once it's there, release it and relax it. We're going to start with a grounding cord, centering your body to the center of the earth. Imagine it being the size of your hips, the width of your hips or larger. It could be a tree trunk, a waterfall, a beam of light, whatever your mind's eye sees. We're going to take a nice big inhale, and on the exhale, audible exhale, you're going to drop this your own grounding cord into the center of the earth like an anchor. And re-inhale and let it go. I want you to imagine just for a moment scanning your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, and noticing anywhere you're holding any tension, any tightness, any restriction, or any pain. And when you notice any part of your body that is feeling that way, I want you to just breathe into that area and exhale into any of that stress and strain into that grounding cord, into the center of the earth where it is neutralized and released. So we're going to spend about 30 seconds just scanning your own body. Now I invite you to check in with your emotional field, any of feelings and emotions that you've been carrying up until this moment that are weighing you down, that you don't need right now, that you can release as well. And tap into any and all emotional strain, fatigue. You're just going to let it go into that ground floor. Just breathe it out. Notice if you have compassion for it and let it go. Any and all. Focus on the past. Be kind with your wandering mind and bring it right back to the present moment and notice feelings caring that don't serve you, you don't need. Please. I'm going to leave us for 30 seconds. Just listen into yourself. We're going to take a nice big inhale, and on the audible exhale, you can release any energy that does not belong to you, that refuses to be fully present to you in this moment and in this experience together. 1, 2, 3, inhale and release. Last thing we're going to do to prepare for what Alexa is going to walk us through, our deepest dreams and desires, we're going to now fill up. I want you to imagine this big gold sun above your head, and the gold sun is everything beautiful and everything true, absolute unconditional regard for yourself and others, absolute vitality, peace of mind, comfort that all is well and all will be well. And I want you to imagine the crown of your head opening like a book and pour this gold light with all this good juju into the top of your head and see it go through every cell of your body, every extremity of your body, every muscle, every bone of your body, down the back, down the front. Imagine the gold light going all the way through your body, through the tips of your toes, and then bring it right back up when you're finished with that. Bring it right back up on the top of your head. Bring it all around your body, 2 feet around your body. Just practice that a couple of times, bringing it down, clearing, cleansing, and bringing it all the way up. So it comes all around you like a gold bubble, a beautiful fountain of cascading in your own light, in your highest vibration. And then the light of the divine that is always there, loving you, guiding you, and protecting you. So I'm going to invite us to just be there for about 15, 20 seconds, and then Alexa will take it from
Here you are, feeling your light, feeling your energy flow. Breathing in love and light into all aspects of your body. Sending it down to the tips of your toes. Allowing it to move up through your legs, through your torso. Seeing that light spread across your shoulder blades and down your back. Moving down through your arms, your hands, your fingertips. Feeling your light move up your spine, lifting your neck and your head, moving over your face, cradling the back of your head, surrounding you in love and light, your light. Feeling the magnificence of your presence, Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home to yourself. Now, in your mind's eye, I invite you to imagine a big, beautiful ball of light that is in the center of your chest. This light can be any color you wish, it's yours. Just imagine that big, beautiful ball of light. And as you breathe in, you are going to see this light grow in intensity. And as you exhale gently, that light is going to expand. And again, as you inhale, this ball of light in the center of your chest is going to grow in intensity. And as you exhale, this light is expanding. One more time, this light as you inhale is growing in intensity. And as you exhale, this light is like a beam of light from the center of your chest, shining out like an old-fashioned movie projector. Your light projected on a screen that's in front of you. Picture that screen right now. Your light is being projected onto the screen, and slowly, slowly, an image is coming into focus. Allow your light to show you that image right now. It's almost as if you're watching a movie of a moment in time where everything feels just right. In this movie, this is you at some point in the future being, doing, experiencing that all is well. See that movie right now. And as this image comes into focus, allow yourself to be drawn closer and closer and closer to the screen. So close, in fact, that you're able to step into the screen and merge with this image, be inside that experience right now. There you are. Standing in that moment where everything feels just right. I invite you to awaken your senses and really see and hear and touch and smell all that is around you right now. Relax your mind, let go of any expectation, and just be there. Where are you? What time of day is it? What shoes are you wearing? Go ahead, look around. See if you can notice the color of the light. What sounds do you hear in this time and place where everything feels just right? Is there something specific you can hear? Hear that right now. Looking around you, are there any objects that you can notice? See if you can identify one thing right now. Turn your attention inward and just check in with yourself. How would you describe how you feel in this moment in time where everything feels just right? What 3 words, what 3 adjectives would you use to describe those feelings? And as you take in the sights and the smells and the sounds, explore just a little bit more. Notice something new. Allow the energy to just seep into your body, taking it in, drinking it in, imprinting this energy into your heart and mind and your being. Because it's yours, you can come back here anytime you want. In the last few moments here, just know that this is your special place. It's inside of you, in your light, and you can come back and drink from this energy, discover new things. This is your special place. But before we come back to this time and place, see if you can notice just one more thing. What catches your eye right now? Now slowly, slowly, bring your awareness back to your body. And as you take a big deep breath in, we're going to bring our awareness back to our room, your room, where you are sitting. Bringing your awareness back to your toes, to your spine, to the sounds in your own home. Coming back slowly, slowly. And when you're ready, very slowly, gently open your eyes. And welcome back. We have someone joining us who just just missed the actual. Hi, Idara. How are you? I'm going to put you on mute right now, but welcome. And we just wrapped up the visualization, but welcome back, everybody. And Idara, we can have you listen to the replay, so it's all good. You'll never miss it. But welcome back. See, even in this wild time, we still can go places, which is pretty nice. How was that for everybody? I certainly feel a lot better. Leslie's given me a thumbs up. Now, before we get too far away from the experience, I would love for you to, if you have something to write nearby, to just capture a little bit of the energy of what you experienced. Just jot down some bullet points, maybe the things that you noticed or the adjectives that you thought about, the feelings that you had, just while they're top of mind. I just want to capture that a little bit. Idara, I'm going to make sure that you get this replay because I had my eyes closed, so I don't know how long you were waiting in the waiting room, but I'm glad you're here. And then after we capture a few of the little nuggets, now is our time where we can actually talk a little bit about maybe something that came up or maybe some questions that you have about how this stuff works, because it's actually quite powerful. Marcy, do you want to share what your experience was? You don't have to, no pressure. This is a no pressure zone.
Well, thank you, Alexa. I love that. And I love the projecting it on the screen metaphor so much. And I really appreciated when you kept guiding us into noticing the little details. And I was having fun with that because you know how you have these visions and they come out of nowhere. And then, so I was very focused on the objects I was seeing and then definitely writing it down and prepared to share it with you all round two, you know, when it comes to pass. And so it's in the details, you know, it's in the heart and in the details of the visioning, that stuff that we don't even know that comes up. And that's what's lovely about it. It's very organic, and that's how you trust it.
And it's specific, you know, I mean, I always talk about it with wishing, you know, you can say, oh, I want to be happy, or I want to feel safe, or I want to feel whatever that is. But because we are all perceiving something different, it's the specificity is what's going to feel safe to us, what's going to feel happy to us, what's going to make us feel abundant, or whatever that is. It's specific for each individual. And that's what's exciting, you know, that you can, okay, we've got Gina coming back in. So I think that if in those details, sometimes when you see something specific, hi, Gina, when you see something specific, that's when you can kind of tease it out a little bit and say, oh, why? Why did I see that? You know, what could that mean? And I'll give a little example. When we were doing a wish circle not too long ago, I don't know if anybody was there when I was doing this, but there was a wish circle in which someone saw herself scuba diving with whales. And I think that's actually something that she had done in the past. But of course, she wasn't doing it now. This wasn't even, she's like, I hadn't even thought about doing that. But the question was, okay, in one way, maybe she really wants to plan a trip where she's actually going to scuba dive again. And she's actually going to go somewhere where potentially it could happen with whales. And I sort of love the specificity of that because that totally terrifies me. That is not something that's a part of my happy place, even though I like to swim in the ocean. Whales, too big, scary to me. But for her, it was like freedom and just beauty and amazement. And so one of the suggestions that I gave her is to drink from that experience. You could, for example, listen to whale sounds, like that's easy as that, or change your screensaver to an image of whales in water. And that way, when you are seeing it, you're reminding yourself in the same way that wish beads remind you, you're reminding yourself of what sparks your heart, of what makes you snap out of whatever stress place that you're in to a place of feeling hopeful and proactive. And in a way, that's how you drink from that experience. Sometimes in visualizations, you might get very specific clues that will indicate, I don't know. It's in a way, that's why I want to, if you tell me even a little tiny something, I can help you talk about it a little bit more. But there is a path forward in a way that this vision gives you a little bit of a roadmap, not only of where you want to go, the steps you're going to take to get there, but maybe how you can bring some of that energy to your life right now, because you all deserve to feel happy and fulfilled and like you're living your wish right now. It's not a concept that it's like, oh, when this happens, only then am I going to feel happy and fulfilled. We want that experience as quickly as possible. And we can activate that feeling in these tiny little baby moves that we make. They're baby things that we can do that make us feel like, oh yeah, I'm part of magic. Oh yeah. And something happens though when you ask, when you start taking action, things start to show up. And anyway, yeah. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to share? Hi, Gina. Yeah.
So I've been with you the whole time, but I realized I was coming back from the Botanic Gardens and I was on the phone and I realized
Oh.
I was behind a cop.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like freaked out.
that would have been a really interesting thing to be like, I am actually wishing, so I can't stop.
So I like discreetly pulled into a parking lot. I was just trying to get home. I was like 2 minutes from my house. So anyway, I just stayed on the phone through the visualization. So one of the things I noticed, and maybe it was influenced because I was just at the South Coast Botanic Gardens, but I noticed I wasn't like, I kept fighting with maybe not fighting, that's too strong, but I was wondering if I was forcing an image or something. Does that make sense? Like
It does. Yeah, because we always are talking to ourselves like, is that real? Should I do that? It's like this little like commentator, like running around all the time. You know who my inner critics are? You know what they look like, who they look like? This is one of my exercises from years ago of like actually like giving them a persona. I mean, I don't know if you remember the Muppet Show, but those two guys who are the critics, those are literally the characters inside my head. So when I start to hear them in the driver's seat, that's how we have a dialogue. It's not saying you're never going to have an inner critic or someone who's judging you or whatever, trying to put you down. I just think that when you can make them into characters, you can then dialogue with them a little bit. So you almost, when I say like, hey guys, can it? So I can just focus a little bit. So my thing is when we're experiencing that, which is why I said, like, try not to judge the experience. It's almost like, see if you can just let that like chatter just be like, shh, quiet, However, you had the experience. If there was something, if you can just like check in with your own intuition without like, forget the noise of the chatter, the commentary, whatever, is there something that came up that just made you feel good?
there was a lot that felt good.
Awesome.
So I mean, I guess I was wrestling, but then I just let it happen, and I did. I was in a field, and then when you kept saying go closer, like things started happening, and I realized I was standing on a porch, and there was this big tree, and then there was somebody off in the distance, and the feeling was just really of contentment and love.
Beautiful. And this place that you were in, is it a place that you know? Does it exist?
No.
Interesting.
It does. It's not a place that I know. And at first it just felt like a field of flowers, but then it's almost like that was the close up. And then as we expanded, it was me. I was back from it, right? So the field was in front of me.
Yeah.
I was standing on the porch of what I figured was a house. It felt like a house. Like it almost felt like off to the right there was another building, but I didn't know what it was.
That's awesome. So there's a couple of things.
Yeah.
If you were going to write a story of what this moment was about, if
Yeah.
you were going to write this like a story, like a movie or a screenplay or whatever, and you were, and again, let me just say, the second part of this is actually a creative writing exercise. If you want to go
Yeah.
deeper, if you want to like play with it. My suggestion is to write it in present tense language, not as if something that happened back in the wish circle in the past, not as something in the future. I see myself at some point in the future, I'm going to know. I'm standing in the field. I can smell the violets in the distance. I look behind me. There's a porch that's standing there. It's all present tense. Because in my vantage point, time is not linear. It's not like one thing that's marching forward. We can play with time. And so when we write it in the present tense, it's as if it's already happened. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. It's happened. So then it's like, oh, great. Now I get to step into that experience because it's a done deal. So when we bring it to the material, when we write it down, we summon the energy of it and we're like, it's a done deal. And I know that each of you must have had these one moment in your life where you had this knowing where you're like, this is mine. Like this is happening. And whether it was like the parking place, like I need the perfect parking place, or I need someone to call me back right now, or somehow when we really start to like own it, there's got to be at least one example where you pulled that off. Then it just gives you that blast of encouragement. So I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't want to bring down the energy, and I don't mean to. But yesterday I had a really tough moment, a really tough one, when I discovered at 8:35 p.m. last night from a Facebook ad that a company has completely stolen my idea. The entire thing, everything. And I mean, not just a little bit, I mean, everything. And the wave of like, you have got to be kidding me. I'm talking everything. I was on the couch and I'm feeling the energy right now. This is so funny about time. I'm feeling the energy of that moment to be like, this is crazy. And I had to leave because I didn't want to upset my kids. Well, my one kid who really, was really like, oh my God, no way. Because, it's 100% ripoff. And I went into another room and I started like the disbelief, and I wrote the email to my lawyer, and I'm calling my this and such, and I'm doing that. And the wave of realization, it was a bad 45 minutes. I'm not going to lie. And when I heard from my lawyer that there was nothing that could be done, and when I heard from a few others that said, this is what happens when a brand is trending and my company has been growing. And I got really present, I got to tell you. And I thought, you know what? Everything is okay. I'm feeling all the feelings. I'm going to feel them. And everything is okay. Because right in this moment, if I look around, everything's okay. There's so many things to be grateful for. But here's one thing I did say. I was angry. And I said, tomorrow morning, I am going to go swim in that ocean. And I'm going to take all this stress. And I said, but the one thing that I need, dolphins. I said, those dolphins, if you come tomorrow, dolphins, that is a sign from the universe because I need your advice. So come to me and I'm going to swim and you're going to come to me and you're going to give me your wisdom. And it's not going to be thinking wisdom, but you're going to show up. And I've been swimming for a while and I hadn't seen the dolphins. So this morning, it's dark, have my cup of coffee. I'm still feeling, I went to sleep like thinking about this. This is like, I'm so annoyed. I wake up in the morning, oh, I'm so annoyed. Like, I can't believe it. This is crazy. I get dressed, put on the wetsuit, grab the family, go into the beach, and we're putting on our, wetsuit, and we're putting on our gear and whatever. And we're still like kind of far away from the water's edge. And I look over and there are dolphins. And I am like, bye guys. I just ran and I threw on those fins and I dove into the waves are actually quite big today. Dove in and I was just like, pew, like flying. And I swam 2 miles. I am not a swimmer. You think I'm a jock. I'm not a jock. Kelsey looks like she's a jock. I can see her from her photos. I am not a jock. So I went, I just went out to the dolphins. The dolphins stayed with us. I don't know if they're the same ones the entire time. And so I will tell you, the reason why I'm telling you this is not to be like, oh my God, that's horrible about my company, whatever. Because you know what they can't copy? They can't copy me. There's that. Anyway, but that idea of when you really need something, you ask. You ask for it. And I know all of you are askers because you're here. People who don't believe this stuff, people who don't want to be around this energy, they don't believe in whatever, how it's showing up, they stay away from me. They'll go to the copycat place. They won't even do that. So when we want something, we ask for it. Every great thing that has happened to me in my life is because I asked. And I didn't ask for this, I didn't ask this way. Will you please come? Will you please come? I summoned those dolphins because I was like, I need you. And I know you're out there doing your magical thing. Please, I need you, show up. And when you do that, things happen. And then what happens? So all of this could be, mamby-pamby, whatever. But what happens to me is that my heart goes down. I feel supported. I put my head in the water and I allowed the sea to hold me. And I said to myself, I'll figure it out. I'm fine. The world is blessed. There's so much work to do. Whatever. And it's like, that is what this is all about. And it's not because I'm some special human being. No, I am living this and I'm sharing this to inspire you to do the exact same thing. There's nothing more special in me than in you, than in every human being. It's just a willingness to dive in. That's it. So whatever you see, I don't say to you, it's not real, or maybe you're going to get it, or maybe you won't. Play with it. Play like we're kids, like you're creating it. And then give it your energy and attention. And then ask. Ask for stuff. And you will see what happens. It's otherworldly. And it's not like we're not going to get obstacles. No, obstacles are going to come. But they're going to come because they're going to meant to expand us and show us how strong we are and creative we are and resilient we are and flexible we are and how humble we are. That was actually my word that came up in my visualization. Humility. So that's my invitation to you. Because the world is not always fair. But we have each other and we have our creativity. And then when you start to see things, even one tiny thing show up for you, then you start to really believe how magical it is. That's why I didn't doubt that the dolphins weren't going to show up for me. I knew they would. And they knew that they got the message and they showed up. They were swimming on either side of us. It was crazy. We were high-fiving in the water. It was unbelievable. So ask for what you want. Yeah. Anybody want to share? We're going to wrap up soon. Oh, thanks, Sally Lou. One little detail.
Tina, was Tina saying?
All right, Tina.
Hello? Okay.
I thought you said Sally was going.
Oh, no, Sally she wrote a little comment, so I was acknowledging her.
Oh,
No,
something going up? Oh, sorry.
I had this wonderful vision. I was by a corral, but vast. Like there were mountains in the background, horses in the corral, and then and I'm in a jean shirt and jeans and boots, and then my wonderful man comes over. He's got his arm around me, and it was late afternoon. I think we were in Colorado. I think it's Colorado. And so we were going to walk down the I can see it. So the corrals are there. Then there's like a dirt driveway path to the gates for the front of the property. When we turned around, there was this gorgeous like mountain house. And I figured out it was his vacation house.
Oh my, woo.
And then, so we were walking, but then a couple of the horses started tracking us. And so like spontaneously, we jumped over the fence. He helped me get on one. I got on the other one, no tack, no nothing. And just, and we rode for a little while. Just letting the horses do whatever they wanted. And then when you said, how do I feel? So the three couldn't really come up with the word for exactly how I felt. I mean, it was like content and safe, but it was more than that. So the word I came up with was yummy.
I like that.
I just felt yummy.
I love it. So Tina, my thought when you were talking about this is that it's so specific. And the first thing that I thought of was because this man is not in your life right now, right? Right. So imagine what it would be. And I don't know how you feel about this, but you know, they have online dating, right? We're not all getting together right now. It's very difficult. But when they have online dating sites and you can write things that talk about what you're looking for or what you're into, I feel like you have such a strong, like direct details of exactly what you're looking to experience. So it doesn't, you can't, not necessarily, oh, I'm looking for a guy that's got a big vacation house in Colorado, with a corral. But you can say, this is the kind of experiences I'd like to have, to go spontaneous bareback riding, who loves nature and horses and getting out in the wild, or, these are the details that you would like. Yeah. And you would like to find someone who's into those things too. Why? Because you saw that this is someone who's going to like, hey, let's ride bareback. Hey, let's travel. Let's get out there in the wilderness. And so in a way, you can use that to literally write what you want. Yeah. So you're not just asking the universe, you're freaking asking dating sites. Like, go ask. And
just to validate you on the ask, a couple of weeks ago, I went to bed and I called on all my peeps who have crossed over. I'm like, okay, Mom, Dad, Walter. And then I realized they weren't very conscious beings. So I said, and my guides, I said, could you please all get together and help my guy find me? Because I'm feeling like a reluctance and a resignation and all of this stuff. I mean, I swear to God, I woke up the next morning to a text message from a man who met me 19 years ago.
Whoa.
At an open house. He said, I had to come back and get your card. I knew I was going to be divorced soon. And I was like, and I'm like, okay, why haven't you contacted me in 19 years? Anyway, I did go on one date with him. He's not my person, but it was that experience of, because I've been a wishy-washy asker.
Yeah.
What you're saying about, and I've heard this from Marcy too, that energy of, okay, this is what, come on, you guys. I mean, I did call him and I was like, Dad, really? That's what you sent? But
it's true. It's
nice man, but he just had a stroke. He just started to learn to eat healthy, like within the last few months, meditate. He lives in a 500 square foot cottage and he's happy with that. So,
hey, you've got a very specific list of things that is what your heart desires. And I really mean that. You can energetically, you can put an image, go look online, find an image of the corral, the mountains, whatever, put them on your computer, all good. Watch movies that make you feel that way too, that, that feel kind of expansive and all of that. Sure, watch movies. But then you actually can do very literal things. This is exactly what you're into. You could even use the visualization to go deeper and, what other fun things are you doing, and use it that way. But I also think that there's wishing and waiting, but then there's working a little bit for it. And so I feel like those online dating sites are amazing because you can actually ask for just what you want. Knowing what you want is huge. It's really huge. And now you have a window into what you want. So use it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else have another one?
Yeah,
Leslie?
Hi.
Good, hi.
First, Alexa, that was great. That was the whole visualization. I really enjoyed that. It was the first time that I was actually able to see more details into something that I wanted to accomplish.
Awesome.
I've written things down before and, if it's something that I want to see happen, but to really, put myself into how am I going to make that happen? That was a first. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yes, for me, it's there's an organization, a nonprofit organization that helps children, gives them the coping skills that are dealing with grief after a loss. It's something I've personally been involved with because I had a loss, my husband, a year ago, and we have 2 daughters. So trying to find help for them has been really strong. But now with COVID, when COVID hit, it's like all of a sudden we're all struck where we're seeing grief everywhere.
Yeah.
And wanting to just, and now not these nonprofits, and this particular one, which is called Our House, they're all struggling because of the pandemic. So really wanting to, help them see what I can do to help the organization. And I had a visualization, so giving a presentation at a women's club that I was at, and really just talking
Amazing.
about all the things that we can do. And not for a long time, and for a lot of these organizations, they wouldn't give immediate support because they felt children needed time to, kind of cope with it on their own. They had like this 3-month waiting list, which didn't make sense to me because I think when you're going through a loss, you need collective support immediately. And since the pandemic, I've seen that more and more. There's also option B, which gives immediate support on a platform where everyone can, join on Zoom calls. And so it's also trying to promote that, say, we need immediate support. What can we do? And what money can we raise so that these organizations can do that and give the support that they need to all the people that need it right now?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so you
That's
saw
basically
yourself giving this
I saw myself
presentation?
giving a presentation at the women's club, and I could see it. We just say the sounds of even like, the drinks being poured or the food being eaten, and people listening intently and showing, videos and telling my story.
Amazing.
And really connecting with other people. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. And have you built this presentation yet?
No, I mean, I've written my story, and I lead now a group on Option B. So I host, it's called the Option B Dinner Parties, and I host that.
Great.
And so that just helps other women that are going through their newfound grief. So I've talked about my story, but no, not for this organization, not for Our House. And
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I was leading a wish circle, and a gentleman shared afterward that he saw himself in a theater, a very specific theater, because he was working on a play and it was opening night. And he was watching a portion of his play on opening night in the theater, in the visualization. And I discussed afterward in the kind of this Q&A part, he was like, what's so crazy is that now I know the size of the theater, what the theater looks like, how I'm going to cast it. Like, he saw the play. And that idea, then you can actually work backwards. So when you're writing the characters, when you're casting the play, when you're trying to figure out where you're going to do this, and all of this creatively. So even in the moment of your presentation, we think we need to sit there and like think it through. Like, what should I do? I have to figure out Keynote or something like that. Although for presentations, I've just discovered Canva. Highly recommend it. Anyway, Canva. But what's nice is that if you are in the visualization or go back, you can think about, what slides do you see? How do you see that you're using a lot of images, or do you have words, or what's your color palette, or what are you wearing? It's like there's details that you can pull from that can help you actually start to build your physical presentation. And right now you can begin to do a presentation on Zoom. You could do it in different ways, knowing that it's going to build momentum to that moment where you filled out a women's club and there's drinks being poured and everyone's together and you're up there and you're wearing whatever you're wearing and you're feeling that energy of hope and excitement and possibility and checks being written and whatever. But that's sort of how you can take the projection of that and then bring some of those details to your future right now. I mean, to your present right now, as you're building it. And it will change. Yeah. And it'll change the energy of actually building the presentation deck itself. Because I actually like building presentations, but in the beginning it was like, I have to make like a a big presentation, it's for a big company, and you feel the pressure. But if you've already done it and you've already seen yourself having a great time, that energy you can pour into the presentation itself.
Right. Yeah. And also just communicating with others, and hopefully getting more people to kind of come on board and help me build all that. And I love the light too, by the way. I saw a beautiful gold light. That was the first time I did that too. So
yay. Good. Oh, I hope you're doing such important
Thank
work.
you.
It's
Thank
such important work. And it's so beautiful that you're transforming your own grief and experience to help others. I mean, that is so powerful and beautiful. So thank you for that.
No, yeah, it's just so important right now. I mean, it's during this time, it's just a lot of people really need help right now. So
yes. And if we don't have anything else, I would also love to say, just take a moment. And also, as you just said, there's so much happening in the world right now. So many people that are experiencing deep levels of grief and struggle. And I would love for us to all say, one intention that we're putting out in the world for the world, some energy and some intention that we are ready to bring out into the world. You can just put it in the chat and I'll say it out loud. But right now, because as I mentioned in the beginning, we don't just wish for ourselves, we wish for others. So I see there's kindness, there's peace. We're going to send that energy of kindness and peace out into the world. We'll send the energy of love and harmony. We'll vote with our hearts, empathy, holding space for others to shine their light. We'll send strength out to the world right now. So many people need strength right now, more strength right now to everyone, to our planet, to the people, to our guides, so that we can find the strength within us to bring peace and hope and light and love and harmony, and good things, and the strength and support that we need to not just make our wishes come true, but when we make our wishes come true, we become teachers for other people to do the same thing. It's contagious. So when we find ourselves in those moments of stress, we have a few new tools now to get back to our heart, to get back to possibility, to get back to love, to have fun, to find joy. And we can take that energy and then allow it to do other actions, whether it's supporting people, being being a good friend, giving to nonprofits, supporting people in need, and being that light in the world. And if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling afraid, please ask. Ask for the help that you need. Ask the universe, ask a friend, and you will find that you very well may just have your wishes come true. That's kind of how it works. So thank you all. Thank you all for being here and taking time to spend this beautiful time together. It certainly lifted my heart as what has been a very weird weekend. And it is definitely ending on a high note.